Ladies and gentlemen, I'm honored to stand before you today to discuss a critical aspect of our nation's sustainable development, the sustainable management of Malawi's plantation forests. Forests are the lungs of our planet, providing oxygen, supporting biodiversity, and regulating our climate. Yet they face unprecedented threats from deforestation, degradation, and climate change. Indeed, our forests are a treasured legacy, vital to our socio-economic development, ecological balance, and climate resilience. Yet, despite their significance, the growth and development of the plantation forestry sector has stagnated, and we face numerous challenges, especially concerning pricing policies. As a nation, we recognize the urgent need for collective action to protect and restore our forests. Distinguished guests, today we gather here to confront these challenges head-on. We convene here to harness our collective expertise, resources, and passion to drive sustainable forest management and plantation practices. The implications of our current forest pricing policies demand urgent attention and action. Over the past 5 years, the forest sector's contribution to our national gross domestic product has remained at a mere 0.1%. This low contribution is a stark reminder of the consequences of inadequate policy enforcement and the under-evaluation of forest resources. Our forest fees and prices are not aligned with the economic value of our forests, a situation that is hampering both government revenue generation and sustainable forest management. Recognizing these challenges, the Modern Cooking for Healthy Forests project, co-funded by USAID and FCTO, together with the MwAPATA Institute, undertook a comprehensive study of Malawi's plantation forest fee structure to assess whether revenue generation can sustain production. This study also compared our current fee structure with those of other countries in the sub-Saharan African region, providing empirical evidence to give guidance with the establishment of a more effective and competitive plantation fee structure. Distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, the findings are very important as they highlight the need for the reevaluation of our forest pricing policies. By aligning our fee structure with regional standards, we can unlock the true economic potential of our forests, supporting our national GDP and ensuring sustainable management for future generations. I should mention here that His Excellency President Dr. Lazarus McCarthy Chakwera is particularly excited about the potential of our forests and plantations to contribute to Malawi's economic development. With healthy trees and plantations, Malawi is poised to benefit from carbon financing, which can provide significant financial resources for further forest conservation and management efforts. This is a critical moment for our nation as we stand on the crossover of realizing the full potential of our natural resources. The study also indicates that by implementing a competitive forest fee structure, we can attract meaningful investment in the forestry sector, including opportunities in carbon finance. This increased investment will increase jobs, drive economic growth, and foster development in rural areas where many of our plantations are situated. Additionally, the revenue generated from a revised pricing policy can be reinvested into the forest management practices, research, and infrastructure, further strengthening the sector. Distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, the Modern Cooking for Healthy Forests project has been instrumental in advancing Malawi's restoration efforts by supporting government to collect and analyze data management, as well as policy and decision making. Specifically, we recognize the efforts of MCEHF to strengthen forest management policies and practices, scale up cleaner cooking, and support improved regulation and enforcement. The MwAPATA Institute has also played a crucial role in supporting the government of Malawi restoration efforts through cutting-edge research and evidence-based policy recommendations. MwAPATA has influenced agricultural and environmental strategies that promote sustainable land management and restoration. What I'm saying here is that sustainable forest management is not an option, it is a necessity. We must address the root causes of the challenges plaguing our forestry sector. This includes strengthening law enforcement, improving governance, developing robust monitoring framework, and effectively regulating forest markets. When I listened to the objectives of the study, one was to compare the prices between Malawi and the other countries. Number two, looking at the challenges that the forestry department is facing, and then there are recommendations. I also listened very carefully to what the PS for the ministry has said. The recommended structure is going to help Malawi grow in terms of GDP, but we should also focus on the assumption under which this can be achieved. Because whenever you have a project, whenever you have an undertaking, there are assumptions. And many times we do not spend time to analyze, to look and understand the assumptions. If we go on the way we are, destroying our vegetation, destroying our trees, then this price structure will be meaningless, because there will be fewer trees to gain the revenue that we are desiring for. Talk about corruption. Maybe because I have worked in hospital and in the operation theater. When you diagnose that this part of the body is cancerous, the only way to save the person is amputation, is to cut that part. You divorce the problem from the source or from the person. Then you save life. We have been talking and talking about corruption in the ministry, and today you have talked about the levels. You have really talked well, from those in the fields up to where the officials are, which means we know them. Just to present the names: amputation. Because corruption is touched here. Now that you have talked about corruption, that is a big problem. The experts, they'll sit down and find another way of going on with corruption to elude the net that can touch them. So the best way, I say, when it comes to corruption in the Ministry of Natural Resources and Climate Change, the only way is to remove them. And I hope and pray that by the end of September you have given me the names of those that need to be removed, because they are a danger to Malawi. Corruption is bad. We can talk. We have documentations. We have all what it can take Malawi to grow. And even when you look at the variance in terms of monetary terms between what Zambia, Tanzania have achieved and what Malawi has achieved, you will see that that money is not entirely, quote unquote, lost because of poor pricing. Some of that money is in the pockets of people. We say underpricing. Yes, underpricing, that is government's perspective. But you find that because of that low pricing, some people have benefited. Some people have benefited. So let's dive into this issue very, very seriously. People are cutting trees daily. Michiru is crying. Michiru is dying. And yet we have got ministry officials that are paid, that are employed to ensure that those forests are what? Are preserved. There are good people in the ministry, I know. Very good people. Very good people. They would love to do better. But somehow they get suffocated because of those that think have more power. When you talk about political interference, the same thing. Amputation. You just give. Because if you're not part of that, you can proudly say, please deal with these people. Because you're not contaminated. People look at me and say, this is not good. No, it's good to try. Amputate 7, 8, 9, you see what will happen. People will learn a lesson. Let me also advise the ministry officials that the public sector are very critical in the development of our forestry department. When there is an issue between government and the public sector, let's approach them with a friendly atmosphere. Let's discuss so that at the end of the day, there's win-win. We should not approach the private sector as, oh, these are the thieves. Well, let's punish here. No, let's approach them in a fashion that they should say, we'll stay here longer than we had planned because of our treating them. There will be meetings with the private sector. There will be disagreements. But these can be ironed out by sitting down and discussing, looking at the issues so that Malawi should grow. What we need at the end of the day is to make sure that we have improved. I know research is not an evaluation. It is not an evaluation. You have come up with recommendations there. We had a meeting with the chiefs in Malawi here. I should thank you, the PS was very instrumental in organizing that. It was a big, big meeting. We had chiefs. The president came to preside over that function. But if we look back and say, what are the action steps that have been taken so far? I don't know of any. We have been trying to push. We had that big meeting, the media covered it, but today there is nothing to show. The forests are being destroyed. The chiefs vowed to take part in preserving those forests. We said they are strategically positioned, they are in the driving seat, they will be supported, and the president was very, very, very happy. Today the question is, just tell us just one achievement that we can say we have gotten from that meeting. I'm adding that to emphasize the importance of this meeting today. That it shouldn't be research, recommendations, policies, thank you. When we meet 3 months from now, show us 0. There should be action steps, action plans. Which stakeholder runs with what? And when now, experts will come to evaluate. To see if this was not just a meeting without meaning. Go into the ministry and find so many documents, research studies, recommendations. You read, you drink tea, you shake hands, group photograph, you go. You come again, another function, drink tea, group photograph, until Jesus comes. The private sector is very critical. Private sector is very critical. Let them not be injured. Let them be understood. Let them feel happy to work in Malawi. Of course, they have to go by the rules of the game. Let us be practical people. We need action. 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 So, when I PS, you have a very, very tough job. Very tough job. When Nakamoto, you have a very tough job. Tajazu, very tough job. We need to show that we went to school, we understand what we ought to be doing, and we are a blessing to the nation. I thought I should mention this so that when we meet again, we are not meeting for tea and photographs and interviews, but we are meeting to share concrete achievements. It would be good that when we meet like this, before we dive into the subject matter of the day, we go back to say, okay, what has informed this meeting? What has informed this gathering? It is this. Let us see what we have harvested. Then we move on. Where is the motivation if you move from key photographs to another? There is no motivation. So, with these few kind remarks, yeah, they're kind remarks, I officially declare the forest plantation fee structure report and public-private engagement on forest plantation launched. I thank you all for your attention. May God bless you all. Thank you very much.